Hi friends, my name is Bhavya Magla. I am IATF qualified auditor doing audit for the automotive sector for the last 18 years. I'm again back with a very interesting topic. What is the key difference between FMEA first edition, which is about the first step, that is planning and preparation, and how it is different from FMEA fourth edition with respect to the planning part. Well, before going further, it's very important to understand what exactly is the meaning of planning and preparation. You can very easily relate with a marriage in a family. That it is all decided that when the marriage needs to be done, which is the location where it will be done, how many people will be invited for that marriage, whether it will be a civil marriage or it will be a big marriage, a lot of people will be there with respect to that. Then you also need to decide the date when it is to be done. Then maybe if any marriages happened in the previous occasion, then what were the learnings from there? So all those things are part of planning and preparation. Something similar is there in FMEA first edition with respect to planning and preparation. So in this particular video, I'm going to talk about what is FMEA, what are the 7 key steps of FMEA, then FMEA first edition about planning and preparation, step 1, how it is different from FMEA fourth edition, what are the key challenges that industry is facing with respect to that. So this is all I'm going to cover in today's video. So let's start first with FMEA first step, that is planning and preparation. And before understanding that, let's understand the definition, the basic definition of FMEA. So when we talk about FMEA, primarily it's a team-oriented, systematic, qualitative and analytical method to identify, analyze and mitigate the technical risk related to the product and manufacturing process. One very important thing about FMEA is that FMEA is a live document and it is a before the event and not after the event. When we say before the event, it means before going ahead with the product design, process design, tool design, we need to make the FMEA. Now, if we talk about FMEA first edition, which is as per AIG and VDA, there are 7 steps through which we need to understand this entire process. And these 7 steps, the first step is planning and preparation, for which I am going to talk today in more detail. The second one is about structure analysis. Third one is function analysis. The fourth one is about failure analysis. The fifth one is about risk analysis. The sixth one is about optimization. And the seventh and the last one is talking about recommendation and documentation. So let's understand about planning and preparation. So as per FMEA first edition, there are 5 key objectives which have been defined and through which we can identify what needs to be done with respect to the planning and preparation. So these 5 key objectives includes, the first step is with respect to project identification and boundaries. The second one is about project planning, where we talk about 5T: intent, timing, team, task and tools. The third one is about analysis boundaries, that what needs to be covered and what needs to be excluded. The fourth one is about the baseline FMEA and what are the lessons learned. And the fifth one is about what will be the input with respect to the structure analysis. So let's start with the first key objective, that is about project identification and boundaries. And in that also, let's bifurcate them into 2 parts, project planning and then project boundaries. So when we talk about project planning, some of the key things that includes are what needs to be evaluated, we should be clear about that, what kind of FMEA that is required as per the customer program, what needs to be included and what we can exclude from this particular FMEA, any specific new requirement that is coming up in this FMEA, or is it the similar product and no new changes coming. Then whether we are making this FMEA as per customer requirement, if yes, if there is any specific customer manual or format is there, or we are making it only as per the organization's requirement. Then whether the organization is design responsible, if yes, then they need to make DFMEA, but if the customer is giving the design, then only process FMEA needs to be made. And then how detailed we need to go with respect to analysis at system and component level. When we talk about the boundary, then there are certain guidelines that we need to see, that when we are doing the FMEA, what are our boundaries under which we need to do the FMEA. So that includes the legal requirements in case any specific requirement is specified by the customer, or maybe it is related to the product. Then any specific customer requirement, it can be with respect to error proofing, quality function deployment, field return, warranty program, or any specific expectation coming from the customer. Then another input can be with respect to bill of materials, drawing, boundary diagram, parameter diagram and all those related things. Then another key input can be the previous FMEA which we have already made. That can also give a lot of input while making this new FMEA. Then in case there is any novelty in the technology, maybe we are talking about EV, say for example, so that can be one of the new thing in that. Then how complex is the design, and based on that we need to decide what kind of cross-functional team we should have. Any specific safety requirement, because safety is one of the very important and key concern. And these days, with respect to safety, the cyber security is also playing a very important role in our day-to-day life. So what are the key inputs related to cyber security? And then in the last, something related to the product and process quality, like incoming inspection, packaging, repair, labeling, storage, all those things can be the key input with respect to that. When we talk about the second objective, that is about the project planning. And as per project planning, there are 5 T's that are being specified. The first T is talking about the intent. When we talk about intent, it means what exactly we are planning to do with this FMEA. We should be clear as a cross-functional team. Then the timing, when we need to start the FMEA and when we need to complete the FMEA, we should be clear about that. The third one is team. What kind of cross-functional team should be there with respect to design FMEA and process FMEA? We need to decide about that. The fourth one is about task, that what work we need to do with respect to that. Is it related to process? Is it related to product, tooling, machine? We all should be clear about that. And the fifth and the last one is with respect to the tool, that how do we need to conduct the analysis? We should be clear about that. The third one is about the baseline FMEA. So here the intent is that when we are going ahead with making the FMEA, do we have some inputs from the previous FMEA? If in case there is any foundation FMEA, which is a generic FMEA that we have made, we can use input from there. In case from the previous experiences we are documented it somewhere about the lesson learned, that can also be a key input to that. And then apart from that, another key input could be with respect to the family FMEA. Sometimes there is a chemical plant or a process industry wherein there is a standard process, so that can also be a key input while making this new FMEA. So all those things become a part of that. The fourth one is with respect to FMEA header. Now this is nothing but, if you see the FMEA template, you will find there are certain things which are specified, like the product name, drawing, customer name, cross-functional team, date, revision date, and all those things are there. So all those things become a part of header. And the fifth and the last objective is how we are doing this planning and preparation so that it can be a good and relevant input for the structure analysis, which is step number 2. So these are the 5 key objectives with respect to phase 1 or step 1 as per FMEA first edition. Now to talk about how it is different from FMEA 4th edition. So primarily if you see in FMEA 4th, the old edition, the things were broadly same, but maybe they were not in very structured way. So to talk clearly about what exactly was there in the FMEA 4th edition with respect to the planning phase. So it was talking about what needs to be done. We need to understand the process intent. Then process flow chart, block diagram and the P diagram are the key input. Then preliminary risk assessment is another thing. Then understanding that what we have lesson learned from design FMEA and process FMEA in the previous version. Then maybe the cross-functional team, what is the relevant cross-functional team that should be there. Then drawings, bill of materials, interrelationship metric, historical data, lesson learned, all those things become the key input, including the header with respect to the planning process. So primarily not much difference. The only thing is the FMEA first edition is a little bit more structured while talking about the planning and preparation phase. Now to talk about the key challenges that industry is facing with respect to FMEA, as well as if we talk about step 1. The first one is the cross-functional team which is making this FMEA, how clear they are with respect to the requirement with respect to planning and preparation. And the second thing is that when they are not clear about the requirement, then without knowing about the lesson learned, the previous FMEAs, customer requirements, bill of material, boundary diagram and all those things, how effectively we can start our FMEA and what kind of quality of input will be there with respect to the structure analysis, which is step number 2. These are the 2 key questions that needs to be pondered. So if I do a summary, I talked about FMEA, 7 steps of FMEA, then what is FMEA first edition as per the step number 1, planning and preparation, how it is different with respect to FMEA 4th edition, and the key challenges that industry is facing. My next video will again be in line with the same thing, and there I will be talking about the 7th step of FMEA, that is about the recommendation and the documentation. Regularly I am getting a lot of feedback from your side and they are helping me to understand your expectations. So please do continue that. And in case you want to understand about this particular video a little bit in more detail, if you see there is a link below, if you click that, you will find a blog there, and there you will find this particular thing in much more detail. And in case you are liking these kind of videos and blogs, you can always share with your friends, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and my website bhavyamangala.com. Thank you.